guys, in this video we are going to focus on easing any pain or tightness in your low back. So go ahead and grab a yoga block if you have one, as well as a small pillow, and meet me on the mat. Okay, we're gonna start standing, so let's go ahead and just start with some neck openers here. So I like to send one ear to one side and then roll forward. If this messes with your balance, like it is mine a little bit, you can widen out your feet if they're not already. Just going at your own pace, inhaling on the side, exhaling down. Good. I like to wake up our neck. A lot of times we don't use the full mobility of our neck during the day, and it can affect the rest of our spine and our body. So even though we have a low back focus here, it's still good to do. Just a nice little warm up. Inhale, exhale to the center. Inhale to the side, and then last time, exhale the center, bring your head up to neutral. Okay, now let's go ahead and inhale up, and then you're going to clasp your hands if you want. I like to do thumbs and forefingers still up here, and we're going to reach up nice and tall, and we're going to reach to one side. Okay, so whichever side feels good for you, just cracking open that side, really waking it up, because and you may even feel this a little bit in your low back too, as we're getting it warm and ready to just relax and ease any tension or pain that's going on there. Breathing to any tightness. Hi, Milo. We're going to inhale up, coming back to center, and then to the other side, exhale. And then breathing here. Good. Couple more breaths here, just really opening up that side, reaching. Coming back to center, releasing our hands down to heart center. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see me. So what we're going to do is do a nice forward fold here. If you want to block in front of you, if that's more comfortable for you, feel free. You're also welcome to keep your knees bent if that feels better. We're actually going to go about hip width apart for this. So let's inhale up, and then exhale down to a nice forward fold here. Now again, you don't have to go as low as I'm going. Just do what is best for you. This is your practice. Now, I usually recommend that we hold our elbows here and just let the crown of your head start to sink toward the ground. Again, slight bend in those knees is fine. Start to think about your spine just making a straight line as it's being pulled toward your mat gently by gravity. And elongate, creating space maybe where you haven't felt space in a while in your spine, especially if you sit a lot or even walking a lot. I mean, just the normal laws of gravity, we don't get a lot of space in our spine going upside down. Most of us don't. Remembering to keep rooted through your toes and your heels. You can sway side to side if you want. That feels really good. Good. Breathing in on our nose as usual. You can give your head a nice shake or nod. Releasing that neck, just encouraging it to drop, just droop down toward the mat. Letting that spine really elongate. Now you do have the option here, take your 2-piece fingers. For those of you who are really comfortable in your forward fold, you can hook around both toes, both big toes, and then inhale with a flat back here, so you're kind of looking forward, and then exhale, folding back down, allowing those fingers to gently pull your torso down toward your thighs a little more. Again, you may not be there, that's okay. Just stay with holding your elbows in that position, allowing your back to allowing space to be created in your back is what I'm trying to say. Still breathing. If you find that you're just taking short breaths or you're holding your breath, don't correct yourself and start breathing. Nice long breaths out in and out your nose. Now, unhooking your fingers from your toes, gently. Bending, slight bend in those knees. We're going to start to gently and slowly, so we don't get a head rush, roll up. Our head's going to be last to go. I'll tell you when. Just gently, one vertebrae at a time, rolling up to standing, and now the head gently. Oh, there goes my hair. All right. Good. Standing nice and tall. You might need to clear your ears. My inner ear had kind of clouded up on this down there. Nice tall posture here. Good. Okay. Now let's take it to the ground. We're going to come on down onto our hands and knees. Again, if you have knee issues, you can do a lot of this seated on your bum. Feel free to get in that position. If you have knee issues, if your knees are a little sensitive, maybe get a thick blanket that's folded up, and you can put your knees on that, okay? The rest of you, we go on our hands and knees. Knees are directly under our hips. Wrists are directly under our shoulders. And now what we're going to do is just start to bend your hip to your right shoulder, and then your other hip to your other shoulder. So I'm going right and left. And just breathing through it. Opening up those sides a bit more, because our sides and our low body are definitely related. And holding your belly in while you're doing this, okay? So not drooping your belly down like this. Keep it up, okay? It's probably kind of hard to tell in my shirt right now, but I am holding my belly in. Okay, now coming back to neutral. Now inhale, so now we're going to go to cow. This is where you can droop your belly. Thinking about rooting through those hands, pressing through, so we're not shrugging, but we're pressing through. Inhale, and now exhale, nice and slow into cat, tucking those hips underneath and dropping your head so your ears are next to your biceps. Your gaze is right between your feet behind you. Inhale, back into cow. Hips are up, shoulders are down out of your ears. Exhale, holding that belly in, hips are tucked under. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale. Good. Okay, coming back to neutral. Now seated. Cat-cow you can do seated, but you can also reach forward in seated position instead of going into child's pose, if that's better for you. For those of you in child's pose, go ahead and reach forward. We're going to start with your knees together. Now, if you really want to bring your knees apart, go ahead and do it. Just letting your back and your chest relax into your thighs toward the ground here. Your forehead is resting on the mat. Remembering our intention here is to relax that low back, to ease any pain, to heal our bodies. And we're just still breathing. In and out our nose. Thinking about sending those hips toward those heels, sitting back a bit. Now, this is an option for those of you who want to go, if you're really comfortable in child's pose. You can bring your hips up and start to reach forward more into extended puppy pose. So we're still resting our forehead on the mat, elbows and your hands are also rooted into the mat. Tops of your feet are rooted into the mat. Now if you feel a little imbalanced or it doesn't feel quite right, move your knees in maybe a little bit. You should have a nice 90-degree angle from the backs of your thighs down the backs of your calves. Letting your belly and chest sink toward the ground. This is really good for our entire back, but you should feel a nice release in your low back here. Nice deep breath through our nose. Now gently taking your hands and walking yourself back. You can go into child's pose first if you want it, coming onto your bum, swinging your feet around in front of you, grabbing your block so it's nearby. Okay, so we're going to keep that right here next to us where you can grab it here in just a moment. And what we're going to do is place your feet in front of you. If you want to put a blanket under you, that's totally fine or feels good for you. You can grab on the back of your thighs and just gently roll yourself back. I lean my block a little closer to me. Back. Okay. So here we are. And what we're going to do is, because like I've mentioned, your low back is so affected by your hips and your hamstrings. So we are going to directly help the low back and also indirectly by getting those places. All right, so first thing we're going to do is bring in our legs, hug them in nice and tight to your chest. It should feel really good. And I like to sway a little bit back and forth. And maybe you're not very open in your hips. You might be out here. That's okay. Whatever feels good. But either way, you should feel a nice release. It should feel good on your back. And anytime you're on your back, you want to think about pressing your low back to the floor to protect it. Sometimes our low back gets injured because our core muscles just aren't strong enough to support it. So it's really important for us to have strong core as well. And eventually I will have a few videos for you guys for some strong core work to help protect our backs. And I have had chronic pain in the past with my back, so I certainly understand how it can be. Okay. Now back at center, so what we're going to do is give the hips a little love. So you can get a strap for this if you need to put around your feet. If you're able to grab the outsides of your feet, great, or even your ankles or your calves to start. You can get the outside of your feet and opening up those hips to happy baby. This is another one you can gently rock if you want, if that feels good. If static feels good for you, that's fine too. The ultimate goal eventually here is to see if we can get our thighs, and that's okay if you're nowhere close right now, but to get your thighs parallel with the ground. Just breathing, opening them up. This may be very uncomfortable if you're really tight in your hips, but I promise you it's going to feel so good afterwards, so stay with me. And again, go where you can go. So if it's not as open as I am, that's okay. Maybe you're up here to start. That's okay too. Do what you need to do. Okay. Gently letting go, releasing your feet or ankles or wherever, and coming back in for a quick hug here. Good. Planting your feet down, and what I want you to do is just windshield wiper your legs. Oops. Make sure your block's out of the way. So windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Let's just feel like a nice little release here. Okay? Good. All right. So now we're going to do, this should feel amazing, is grab your block, have it handy, plant your feet into the mat, and then lift up your hips up toward the sky. Take your block, place it under your low back, get it in a good spot, and then gently release your hips onto the block, letting them rest right there. And like I said, it should line up with your low back. All right, good. And you can place your hands on your belly, on your sides. Sometimes I like to put one hand on my heart, one on my belly. Whatever feels good for you. You should feel a nice release in your back. If this feels painful, or which it shouldn't, but if it does, try situating the block in a place that makes you feel totally supported in your low back. Good. Breathing into it. If you deal with chronic pain in your back, if you're not already, definitely recommend a really good chiropractor. And I also use CBD oil, really high quality, 0.0% THC CBD oil. For those of you who get drug tested, that can be an issue if there's any THC at all. So I've put a link in the body section of this video if you want to check it out. And you're welcome to send me messages with any questions or anything about that. It's been amazing for me as well as so many people I know. Breathing. Okay. All right, now driving through your feet, lifting up those hips once more, bringing that block out from under and setting your block to the side. Hugging in those knees one last time here, just a nice tight hug. Some people, I know for me, I sometimes, if I hug them really tight, I get a little release in my upper thigh, so it's like bonus. It should feel really good. Okay, crunching up your toes, splaying them out if you need to. Nice crackies there. Okay, now gently releasing your legs. And then our last thing here before we go into our relaxation is just move yourself toward, if you have a wall near you, so that you're 90 degrees away from that wall. So you want a 90-degree angle in your legs, just like we were when we were in cat-cow earlier. So you want that 90-degree angle, and you're just going to place the bottoms of your feet on the wall. Your hands can go wherever you want. I sometimes like to have them in cactus. That feels really nice on my chest, on your belly, next to your sides, whatever. And just breathing, thinking about holding your belly in slightly. So anytime, you want to always think about your belly being active. Even if you feel like I don't have anything to activate there, that's okay. Yes, you do. We all have muscles there. No matter how weak or strong they are, we all have them. Think about pressing your low back into the floor as you do this. And breathing. Good. This is really good. I definitely encourage you guys to do these things, or even if it's 2 or 3 of these throughout the day, or in the morning or at night before you go to bed. And it's just maybe a 2 or 3 minute routine where you just do this, or maybe the cat-cow, or the side stretches, anything that will help you with your low back, as well as other areas of your body. Good. Okay, and then gently releasing your feet, coming back to your mat if you want. You can stay there if you want to. If that feels really good for you, go ahead and stay. Otherwise, coming onto your back. Now we'll do Shavasana for those of you who might have kind of an icky low back. Okay, some people just have a really hard time laying flat on the ground with their legs flat. So you can wind your feet to about the width of your mat and then let your knees come in together and rest together. This should feel better on your back when you're laying flat on the ground. Still thinking about kind of tucking those hips under slightly so you don't have a big arch in your back. That never feels good. Resting your hands on your belly. Closing off your eyes, taking note of how you feel, thinking about what pose felt best for you and your back. Maybe you notice other parts of your body that felt really good while you're doing it as well. I love that extended puppy pose for many reasons, not just my back, but my shoulders as well. Just breathing, relaxing, releasing any tension left in our bodies right now. And when you're ready, you can stay here if you want, but if you're ready to meet me back in seated, just coming onto your side into fetal position. And then when you're ready, gently pressing yourself up into seated, comfortable seated with the block under your bum if you need it. Resting your hands on your legs, opening up your eyes. Inhale with me here. And exhale. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you like this video, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment, like the video, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. I'm so excited to bring you guys more over the coming months. See you next time.